Demonstrators started trickling in outside the BTL headquarters just after 8 this morning, and by 9 o'clock, St. Thomas Street was packed. Protesters stood shoulder to shoulder, hoisting picket signs, blasting bullhorns, and uniting around one message: no to the BTL acquisition. The crowd swelled after both the United Democratic Party and the NTUCB put out late-night calls for their supporters to show up. This after word spread that BTL's board would be meeting today to make a decision. NTUCB President Ella Waite says they weren't about to watch this unfold quietly from the sidelines.
For us out here as Union Representative, you notice we're this side, we're just observing and we're keeping status of what's happening in there as well. Believe me, we know what's happening. So we are just waiting, ensuring that, of course, we are very respectful people, we're holding the peace, but we hope that we can continue holding the peace, and as long as they do the right thing and don't do anything today, it will remain like that.
The Christian Workers Union, the Public Service Union, and the Belize Energy Workers Union were present at today's protest, and their leaders stood firm on a no position.
There's too much at stake here for Belizeans to just sit back and watch it go through. We've had this before in the past with this same administration. I was up front and foremost with Intelco.
We need to understand that we're not a country of sheeps, and this sheepish lifestyle and behavior that we've exhibited over the last 20 or 30 years needs to be done away with.
We are saying no to the merger or the acquisition of Smart by BTL, right? So unfortunately, like I've mentioned, the way how it has been happening, it's so fast. Why rush?
Police officers formed a tight perimeter around the compound, a clear show of force meant to keep things calm, though, as we'd later see, that effort didn't quite hold. Inside the building, the meeting that protesters believed would happen had been cancelled the night before. It was business as usual for employees, many of whom watched from behind the glass, uneasy about what might unfold. Outside, however, UDP's Brian Yellowman Audinet was already rallying the crowd, hinting that protesters were prepared to push past the gate.
And I am telling you, I guarantee you that we will enter the compound 10 o'clock.
Wave Morning Show host Alfonso Noble also made an appearance, dressed in a full bacon costume, taking a jab at BTL chairman Markham Lizaraga, who also owns a meat shop.
I put on a suit here to drive a point home. This is a serious situation where happening in a BTL, where they take public money to buy a private company, and there is absolutely no justification whatsoever.
Union and party leaders told us that despite holding consultations, BTL has still not provided enough information to ease their concerns or convince them to support the acquisition. And then there are those former BTL employees demanding their severance payouts from the company in the face of a multi-million-dollar deal.
Remember, they started at wanting to acquire 3 or 4 companies for 180 million. So 100 million has dropped out. So we don't see that there can be any delay in BTL having this money to cover this severance.
And with so many voices openly rejecting the proposed buyout, the big question now is whether BTL will still push ahead with the deal. At this point, that remains unclear. But what we do know is that the debate over Belize's telecom future is nowhere near settled. In fact, this conversation is just getting started. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.